you're on a business trip. You guys are businessmen. You're doing your thing. You're traveling. You meet this beautiful girl. She's classy. She's successful. She's smart. You really enjoy her company. She's 27 years old. She's an accountant. She makes $100,000 a year, and she has a 3-year-old son. The good news is he's potty trained. Where do you gentlemen with no kids that I know about go from here? McQueen.
She's done. She's just getting hit and that's it.
So you're banging her.
Yeah, for sure.
And then what happens?
And then sayonara, bitch, you know?
That's
Would
it.
you like her to get in her pants, or would you be like, yeah, I'm only here to fuck? Like,
Well, I mean, if I do I know that she has a kid from the get-go?
yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Then yeah, no. I mean, I'm just immediately just trying to fuck. That's it for sure.
That's
No,
it.
but would
So
you
that
tell
is-
her that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And see, this is what ladies with young children or even teenage children, they have to realize and understand this. This is just, I know it's not pretty, it's not sexy, it's not Disney, it's not any of these things, but what you ladies have to understand is this. A single guy, specifically a man that's considered high value man, looks at a woman with a child as a jump off, right? They're just looking at an opportunity to hit it. They may hit it several times because it may actually be pretty good, but they're going to hit it. They're not looking for anything long term. They're going to tell you certain things to maybe make you feel that way. And that's just being honest now. Then this guy, he's saying he would tell him up front, he's just going to hit it. Now, he may say that, but in reality, the way it really works, ladies, is this. A guy is he'll probably take you out. He'll probably take you out to eat, probably take you out for some drinks. You know, he may even take you out to a concert, something like that, but it's not long term. If he's doing certain things like that, it's because the sex is really good. It's pretty good, right? The sex is good, the head is good, something is really good to keep him churning like that, but he's not going to wife you up. Okay. He's not going to really probably plan any type of trips with you because there's not going to be a +1 in his life like that right now. So you have to understand you can glam up, you can do all these things, but ladies go after high value men, and high value men don't want that. And even some men that are not necessarily high value men don't necessarily want that. They may put up with that a little bit longer than a high value man, just simply because of the options that they may or may not have. So just keep that in mind. Let's finish.
David, you meet this girl. What do you do?
I made this mistake last time and found out the hard way. It's actually kind of how I came upon some of these podcasts about
Really?
the red pill stuff. Yeah.
What was the situation?
I'm sorry.
Single mom, had been divorced. I think the problem is that men look at that very differently than the women do. It's hard to get our perspectives to be aligned, right? So her perspective was very defensive. It wasn't, I made bad choices in life that brought me here. I'm grateful someone's giving me a chance. It was, my kid's amazing. I'm amazing. You're lucky to be here. It was very hard to get on the perspective I had, which was, this is definitely not ideal. I'm going out of my comfort zone. I'm expecting quite a bit of appreciation on it. And they were like, I don't owe you anything.
Thanks, feminism, right?
Am I right? And it was like, that was a bad investment.
Troy, you're at the club. You meet this gorgeous girl. You know her situation. She's got the 3-year-old. His name's Dylan, by the way.
Oh, nice
What are
name.
you doing with the girl?
I mean, look, personally, for me, I wouldn't want to get into something serious with a woman who has a kid. That's just no disrespect to single mothers. That's just in my life. That's just not something that I would want to take on. So it would have to be casual, and I would make that pretty clear up front.
You'd be up front. You're not going to do the McQueen approach where he just gotcha, bitch.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, look. I mean, the way that I tend to move, I'm not going to be sitting down with her and if this is kind of a one-night stand situation, sitting down to sort of, right, just to be clear, these are the terms of our engagement. I'm not going to be that sort of specific about it, but she's going to kind of know from my vibe. She's going to get the idea, because I'm traveling a lot anyway, do you know what I mean? So the whole setup is not going to be one that is likely to be leading towards something long-term. So that would be my answer. I mean, effectively the same as McQueen's, but I'd probably soften the blow a little bit.
Kevin, do you have a different response?
I don't avoid single moms. I've dated a few single moms, but I've found a selfish trait amongst most of them. There's not one single mom that I haven't dated dated who has not said something to the effect of, you know, what's important about you being around is I want my kid to see his or her mother being loved right. And I'm like, what do you want, fucking make out in front of the kid? He's already confused enough as it is. He's wondering, where's dad and who the fuck is this? That's all the kid is wondering. Any of us that had step parents and shit, most of us met our step parents like 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody's drunk, and it's like, son, Jim is here because your father ain't shit. And it's like very confusing. So I really do take children and their youth and upbringing and innocence very serious. So really, I don't give a shit what the mom wants. I'm thinking in terms of like what's best for the kid that you have. I'll think for your kid before you do and think all this is going to bring him is confusion. You need to completely keep these worlds separate. If you're
Right. And the bottom line, and I had this conversation with my ex at one point and said, look, you're not going to really be able to date until this child is 18 and out of the house, because it's just not going to really work. The children get older, teenagers, that even at under 10 years old, not even teenage children, they're not stupid. They understand that man there is not my father. They know this. Why is he up here in the house? Why is he sitting over there at the table eating food like my dad? Or he gets up in the middle of the night and they look out the window and the car's still in the driveway. Kids are not stupid. Okay? So women just have to understand when you make that choice of either getting a divorce or having a child out of wedlock, okay, there are just going to be consequences. It's not going to be sexy. It's not going to be pretty. Some women can manage it better than others, but you're going to have to play the game. It's a game, and you have to understand the game. Now, if you understand the game and play the game, there are going to be some men that will entertain you longer, okay? But if you get in this demanding mode, you know, rah, rah, I need this. And I mean, again, he's going to hit it. He maybe hit it a couple of times, but he's going to have, you know, he's going to be making his moves. He's going to be out there and he's probably going to be gone and you're going to be back to square one.
So you're saying that she should not date anymore?
No,
or
but-
she's
no,
saying she
but-
should stay with the guy?
No,
What's
but
your
a lot
solution?
of them are probably not you because you're, you know, a savage
like,
and
I'm
shit.
very
Yeah, no, I know you're
invested in this
different in every way, and that's
situation.
why everybody loves you. But I mean, no, but this eagerness to like find the replacement stepdaddy thing is. I've
Now,
never not come.
Last question for the guys,
Never
and
not
then I'm
come
going to turn
across
it
it.
over to the girls. Would it be different? Would you have a different perspective if you actually had a kid already?
Yeah.
So you're almost doing like a Brady Bunch situation.
Yeah,
All
but I
of these
don't.
guys don't.
No.
have
So
kids.
no?
No.
So you're just not trying to raise someone else's kid?
No, because it's like now if I have my own kid, now I got 2 little niggas I gotta take care of.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
And same thing. Now my kid's wondering where's mom and who's this thought.
Got it. Okay.
Same thing.
Troy, if you had a
Confuse the
kid, would
children.
you be a little more comfortable?
No, because I came from my parents divorced, and then we got sort of put together into another family, and I mean, that was problematic. It's not always like Kevin was saying. I mean, when you think about the kids in these situations being brought up, that there can be a lot of problems in those situations. So I would be even if I had a kid, I'd be very wary about just sort of like
Gotcha.
shoving
Ladies,
it together.
Here's where I need your help. How many people here have kids? Tracy? Janelle?
Put a green
So there's
flag.
2 of you ladies.
Like, know it.
Okay. Don't look around. Look right at me. Raise your red or your green. Should men date single moms? Hold it up high. Hold it up high. Pixie, we have. Okay, guys, I don't flicker it.
They're in between.
We have red. We have green, 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 green. So most of it is green. 4 or 5 of you is red. So Tracy, you put your green up because you're a single mom.
Yes.
Sell us on why one of these gentlemen should be your new boy toy, baby daddy situation.
No, I think that there's people in the world for everybody. I don't think anyone should be my son's father. I think someone that's going to come to my life will love me and eventually end up loving my son, but I am not looking for a baby daddy. I am looking for a partner.
I'm listening
And
very
that's the
closely
difference.
to this one.
So,
So nobody's replacing that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
See, here we go with that partner shit again. Okay. Here we go again with that. I'm looking for a partner. A high value man is not looking for a partner. Okay, he's just not doing that. That's just not how high value men operate. Okay.
So what would you say to the guy that's like, I don't even know, you're hot, you're cool, you're great. I can't even get over the fact that you have a kid, and as dope as you are, I'm mentally blocked.
Then
It's kinda
that
what you were
means that
saying there?
that's not the person for me.
Not
Got
quite
it.
what I was saying,
I-
but go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I jump on what you
Sure,
said?
yeah.
Because I have a lot to say, and I'll be brief, but I want to make a few points. First of all, you guys are all obviously talented and very much so respected in your fields, including yourself. And I know your battle with having children back and forth. But
What's my battle?
Well, you said you're ambivalent.
I'm gonna have kids one day
Yeah,
with
one
the-
day,
with
but
the-
like
with the lady.
when you're always like asking your friends, you really like it? Like, you know.
What's sex, guys? I've
Okay.
never heard of this
Anyway.
thing. What are you doing with this?
Complimenting us because
What
you're
I-
about to
They're
say something
naked.
What
No
like
I
that.
will
clue,
say,
yeah.
first of all, as there's a lot of single moms who have given single moms like myself a really bad rap. And they use men for resources, and they put their children before their serious committed persons, whoever, if they're married or not, before their needs, like their spouse's needs, right? And I don't agree with that if it's a long-term serious thing. So I think that that's to be said for why probably a lot of you, and more reason you said, I don't want to raise two kids. And that's honest, and I appreciate that. However, what I will say, the men that I've met and that I've dated and that have proposed to me, they wanted to marry me and they wanted to be a stepfather to my son if I wanted that, right? Now,
But why are you not with them? Why didn't you marry any of them? Okay, you've been proposed to and all these things several times, and you know there's something behind why you're not there. Okay, so let's hear what you got to say.
Now, the thing about me that's different from most women is, even though I'm very masculine in how I'm speaking now, because I'm trying to make a point, I'm very feminine, and I let the man take the lead. And I don't try to say, my son and I are so cool, we're the best. No, I let a man be gracious to me because I'm feminine, and I serve his needs. I make sure his sexual needs are served. I make sure that his tummy is full. And my son never goes without, trust me. He's been to 14, 15 countries already.
Okay, first of all, men don't give a shit how many countries your son's been to. Okay, it's not even on a man's radar. That's what I'm saying. These things are in the forefront of your mind. This point that you're making, men don't give a shit about that. They don't give a shit about how many countries your son been to. They don't care about his advanced degree in medicine. They don't care about all these things. You just focus on the wrong types of things, and that's the issue with single moms. That's one of the issues that they constantly have to deal with.
So I think the difference is that some men, no disrespect to y'all,
Right.
are not cut out for that, because it takes a very extremely high alpha man, I think, that would be willing to say, listen, I saw all of you grimace. I watched all your facial expressions. Hold on, let me finish momentarily. That will be willing to step in and raise someone else's son. That takes a very brave, bold man. And there are men out there in the world who will do it when they see the value of a woman that's serving them and saying, listen, yes.
Did you say that there were men that openly came into your life and wanted
Yes.
to help raise your kid?
Yes.
Where are they now?
Well, I was going to tell you.
Why didn't they make the cut?
Well,
Them
first
niggas are so alpha.
hold on. First of all, I didn't choose that, and here's why. And I won't get into my personal. I'll just give you one example. He's very famous. He's in the personal development world. He's on Tony Robbins' stage.
Nobody cares. The man asked, why aren't you with him? You're going through this, you're trying to build up this resume of this so-called guy. Okay, let's hear about this guy, okay?
More than Tony is. So if you know the Tony Robbins world, you know who he is. And he's your color. Anyways, he was a lot older than me, and he didn't want to have more children. And I do. I'm going to have at least one or two more. So for me, that was, he was very invested in my son. But I said, you know what? I'm waiting for that person who wants to build our own family too. He adopts my son, and we have one together. And so that's what I'm doing. And so I'm right now choosing to give my son a beautiful life.
Okay, now, see, she just said the magic word. She just said, he's going to adopt my son, and then we're going to have some more children together. See, that's a lot. Okay, so why are you going to adopt another man's son? Okay, that's where it gets weird, because you're asking an awful lot for a man that is, looking to maybe perhaps have a mate, someone, a female in his life. And now you're asking him to adopt your son on top of that, have 2 other children with you. So, I mean, it's just, it's just really unbelievable.
You know what that crazy bitch was into? What? She wanted to stick a dildo up my ass.
He travels with me around the world. I run my business. He gets to go to my retreats, etc. And that's what I do. And so I know I'm rare, but I do think it's a huge missed opportunity that men are passing on really good single moms like myself because they feel some type of way about it. And like she said, that's your prerogative. But you're also missing the most feminine, nurturing woman on the planet, or that I've been told.
That a girl, Troy, and then I'm going to come back to you ladies for a question. Go ahead.
So I completely respect what you said, and you're a very inspiring woman, and it's great to hear you say that. I mean, my comment on that is, firstly, what you're doing is what a lot of women will do, which is kind of recontextualizing what alpha is. So I'll say, no, an alpha man, a stepdad is a man who steps up. The guy who's prepared to take on my children, that's my definition of alpha. Okay, so you're defining alpha as that. Is that the actual objective definition of alpha? Maybe not. Maybe you could argue that the guy who just goes around the world and smashes a load of girls and has a fantastic time, is that not alpha? You would argue not, because that's irresponsible, but that's another type of alpha. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I was actually on another podcast last night. I was talking to one of the girls there. She's got a couple of kids, okay? And she said that she's just recently got together with a dude, okay? They've been together 2 months. It's a long-distance relationship, okay, because he's in a different state. And he's already said to her, I want to marry you and I want to look after your kids, after 2 months. Is that the action of an alpha male, or is that the action of a guy who's needy and is saying that because he's...
Exactly. That's a needy guy. A guy that's got his foot on the throttle that fast and on his purpose, right? He's not going to be choosing that quickly and just committing that quickly, because this is a calculated man, a man with focus, right? And he's not going to just be choosing some single mom, just right off the bat, hey, you're going to be my wife. It just doesn't work like that in real time.
Desperate to secure the box.
That's different from my scenario. We dated
completely different to your scenario, but I'm just.
No, it's not different. It doesn't matter how long you dated. You could have dated him for 3 years. Okay. The thing is, you were asking something of a man, and obviously you knew this. So unless you didn't have this conversation for a whole year, you understood that this man didn't want to have any more children, but you were enjoying the fact that he was giving you this type of attention and putting up with your situation as a single mom. You were entertained by that because your options are very limited when it comes to that. No matter how you look, no matter how much cleavage you're showing, and how much you put on your Botox and all these kinds of different things, your options are going to be limited, period.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Saying that somebody saying I'm prepared to look after your kids is not in itself necessarily indicative of alpha traits. It could actually be indicative of the opposite.
Let me get McQueen's thoughts here. McQueen, are you being sold on becoming?
No, he's not. He doesn't want.
Absolutely not.
He doesn't want to take care.
I'm not hearing none of this shit, really.
You got the simplest answers.
Yeah,
you're not playing this game.
No, because it's just like, how you going to tell me I'm not alpha because I don't want to raise your fucking kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, all right.
He doesn't want to raise his own.
Yeah, like, all right, fine.
I feel like a really
solid
alpha it can put up a really good risk-benefit analysis, right?
There you go.
So if the woman is a great exception to the rule, you freaking head over heels more than anything you've ever felt in your life, that could be different.
Yeah.
But for the average single mother that you meet, a very basic risk-benefit analysis that you could look on data that's already available, you could look at the situation that you're presented with, probably not the safest route to go.
I think the truth is that's what we're all doing.
And that's
right, and that's a normal
fine.
thing to do. That's a responsible thing to do, and I think that's what an alpha would do at the end of the day.
And no one's telling the other side that this shows up as a debit on the ledger, so you're going to have to make up for it in another side because that's distasteful. It creates an argument, and I think we grimace.
Well,
because
a lot
it
of
came
people do
across.
that. I mean, they'll say, "Oh, that I don't count because I have a kid," and I'm
No,
like, that, "You don't count because you said that comment."
There's lots of things that aren't ideal.
But it's
But
also
you can make educated
next to
decisions.
Most women in their 20s, and I will surpass all of them in regards to the characteristics that I bring to a man
I
and
believe
to
that.
his life.
Okay, look at this. Look at the chick on her left. I mean, that's a nerve. That I mean, for her to just say that like that. But I'm not gonna keep you guys on here any longer because I think you get the understanding of the mentality. And what single ladies have to realize is this: your back is already against the wall in a sense in the dating market. Your sexual marketplace value is lower than a woman without children. No matter how you look, no matter how you think, you have to understand this. So you got to realize when you're out there, shooting for a high value man is really not the route you really want to go for. You need to be looking at guys that may not have the resources or the options that a higher value man would have, so that you can have that blended type of situation. And he may feel like that he is maybe achieving something a little out of his league. If you're a very good looking lady, well kept, you keep yourself up, you're professional, you're submissive, you're fit, you're feminine, these types of things. But when you're going for the gusto, it's just not happening. So appreciate you guys. We will catch you the next go around. Chad's Official Podcast.
Everybody shining like new money. And ain't no other pool like this in the world, and never will be another.